Alright, so I decided I'd look at the head while I'd look at the valves while I have the head off. And I didn't think there was anything wrong with them, but they actually look pretty terrible. Hold on, let me turn my light on. I mean, that looks pretty bad. So I'm gonna give them a little brush. Hopefully it doesn't snap on my toothbrush, because the cam's perfectly balanced with that open. But at least they aren't bent. So yeah, let's do some cleaning. So it turns out a Q-tip can be used pretty good for this. Alright, so it's on compression stroke, so both the valves are shut. So I'm gonna pour some piston soup gas into the intake with the valve shut and see if it leaks. Oh yeah. Wow. Maybe that's normal. Alright, so I'm just about done with this thing for the night. It's 12:30, but I drained the gas out of the intake. I turned the cam and opened the valve, so hopefully that cleaned it out, and I did the same for the exhaust. Then I just poured some oil into the intake, so now that whole valve chamber is full of oil. And then I'll drain it and do the same for the other side, and call it a night. Alright, so I've now soaking the exhaust valve, looking nice and oily for them valves. Yeah, that's pretty much the last step for the night. Got my homemade hone. Alright, so although honing it, I used the 1000 grit sandpaper because that's all that I had, and it's definitely not enough because it didn't really do anything. So my mom took me to the store and got the high performance hone. So anyways, I will rewind the hone, put the drill bit in there, wrap it up. Now I can wrap it with sandpaper. Boom. Okay, that was a little bit too much. Get it spread around. Come on this side. Alright. Got my power drill. Let's go. Alright, so I got the hone done with the sandpaper. I actually had to improve the tool a couple times, but ultimately I just used a screwdriver on the drill with sandpaper taped to it. And I was really thinking about just buying a new cylinder and piston because there's a little lip right here. But I decided that's not really as fun as putting something together that's a little more sketchy. So with that being said, I'm going to reuse the cylinder and hopefully the piston also, as long as I can get them old rings out. Also, it looks really bad because of things like this, but that's not actually an indent. I think it's like a water stain, but it can actually feel it. Alright, so I rinsed this out with water to get the iron and sandpaper dust out, and I'm sure the haters are going to say you shouldn't do that. And I guess they're right, because it rusted within a matter of minutes. So I'm going to dry this out. Now I'll put some well-deserved oil on here. If I could get to the oil. Oh, we got some. Alright, well, it's starting to get cool fall air out. And I'm working on the four-wheeler today. I am waiting on parts, so I can't put the engine back together. But there's some stuff I can do, like clean off the old gaskets, which you can see. Of course, they're really stuck on there. And another thing is this carburetor, which works fine, but this is the original carb, and me and my friend both agreed it felt like it had more power with this one, but the bowl was, they must have casted it wrong or had contaminated metal, because I tightened the bowl drain on it once, and the bottom of the bowl just snapped off, like a piece of it, and the petcock on here broke off. So then I bought this one, but it seems like it has less power. But the good news is, it seems like the upper part of this old carburetor is good, which is the thing that's going to be giving it the extra power anyways. Maybe it's a little bigger than the new one, or the jets are bigger or something. So I'm going to take this one's bowl off and put it on here, and hopefully they fit. Alright, so they do fit, which is great news. So I'm just going to give this old top piece a clean. It hasn't been used for a while, so it probably should be cleaned. Also, it's cable choke, but the good thing is it's kind of sticky, so it'll hold its position. And this one won't do that. Alright, so I've got the new bowl transplanted onto the old top piece to the carb, and I want to test it for leaks, but obviously I can't put it on properly on the engine, so I just plug the fuel hose in, and you gotta fill the tank with gas and see if it leaks. Alright, so I've filled it with gas, and it's plugged in and it's not leaking at all. So to make sure that it's actually, the bowl is filled with gas, I'm gonna tip it. And, oh yeah, it's coming out a little. Running out of daylight here, but taking the tires off. First part's done. Rim looks terrible, but it'll clean up, I'm sure. Oh, man. This one's taking a little bit more. Here we go. Ready? Yes! Got it. And now I gotta flip it over before it debeads. I don't know, I might have lost it.
I literally need a millimeter to get this thing going.
There's air in it. What? Oh, the pump's leaking. Really, pump? Alright, this piece of junk to the rescue. Alright, now there's enough back pressure that the foot pump works. Wow, that rim is disgusting, but I'll clean it up.